lift, as I'm sure you can tell from that interception by Houston. They're in that situation again where they have 1st and goal inside the 5. And again, they like to stick it on the ground as much as they can from this position.
Bo Scott is a setback along with Leroy Kelly. It's 1st and goal from the 2. And Scott gets his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. On 1st and goal, Scott went in. So the score amounts to 23-0.
Take a look at it again from ground level from behind Leroy Jordan, number 55. Bo Scott has shown us some strong running this afternoon. Behind the block of Fred Hoagland, number 54. He was hit by Bob Lilly at about the 1, but he still got in.
Rayfield Wright is on the offensive line for Dallas. Morton keeps the football, and he goes on in. And it looked like a busted play.
I'm sure it was. He slipped as he started away from the center. He's going to give the ball to Calvin Hill on a sweep to the left. But he realized at the last minute that Hill would be past where he could make an exchange with him, so he took it and scored anyway. Watch him slip as he turns around. And he realized, I think, that he couldn't get the ball to Hill, so he just tucked it away.
Well, that is the first Dallas score of the day, making
his block and goes across the field, and that time he wasn't as open as he was on the play before, but still Cleveland got 1st down yardage. Morin has caught 4 passes for 54 yards. Warfield's caught 6 for 72.
42 seconds left in this quarter. A 1st down play, the delay to Kelly. Kelly inside the 30, needs a block by Collins. Gets inside the 15, inside the 5-yard line. 1st and goal, Cleveland from the 3-yard line. Leroy Kelly finally stopped by Jordan and Otto Brown. A 39-yard dash.
It's a draw play to Kelly. A little bit of a delay as Nelson was anticipating a strong pass rush from Dallas. And the rest of it is just run as only he can run. That's Collins down with the block on Cornell Green. Green rolled out but couldn't quite get to him.
And Collins did a good job on a big defensive back, Cornell Green. Allowed the play to go to the 3-yard. Cleveland leading 24-7. Bo Scott and Leroy Kelly. Kelly this time, and he's got the touchdown. Leroy Kelly is in. Making the score now 30-7 in favor of Cleveland. Kelly from 1 yard away. Warren has a touchdown, and Scott has 2. Morton scored for Dallas.
During the course of the regular season,
in favor of the Browns, Renzo goes to the left, and that's one of the big stories of this game. Morton has been unable to get the ball to him. Hayes is on the right side. This is a 4th down play. In the corner, and it is intercepted by Sumner, and he is going to go all the way. The rookie cornerback with an 89-yard interception for a touchdown to make it 37-7. Walt Sumner, who was supposed to be worked on by the Cowboys, does some work of his own.
And here it comes again. You'll see him cut just in front of the intended receiver, who I believe is Calvin Hill, out in the left flat. Now it's Garrison. But Sumner, involved in short zone coverage, cut just in front of him and set sail. That's Tony Liscio chasing, the left tackle, 72, but he's got no chance.
37-7 now in favor of Cleveland with 9:33 remaining in the game. That interception and the touchdown run covered 89 yards. Sumner had run one back for a touchdown during the regular season. Rome holding. Cockcroft kicking. 38-7 in favor of Cleveland. And back with the Browns kickoff in just a moment.
A week ago, Paul Chrisman and Ray Scott were here in Minnesota watching the Rams play the Minnesota Vikings. The next day, Jack Buck and I were in Dallas, where Dallas was favored over the Cleveland Browns. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of that game. First time Cleveland had the ball, they were forced to punt. Don Cockcroft got out of a high short punt. Bob Hayes had signaled for a fair catch. The lineman down underneath never saw the ball. The ball bounced off Rayfield Wright. Cleveland recovered, and you could almost see Dallas wilt at that point. Bill Nelson went right to work to Warfield, who had a great day. This in the early minutes of the first quarter. Nelson again, this time a dump right over the middle to Morin. And this sets up the first Cleveland touchdown. And here is the touchdown, the one that gave Cleveland a 7-0 lead. A block by Kelly in front, and Bo Scott gets in. He's their new fullback. He replaced Ron Johnson. Nelson again in action. He fakes the in sweep to Kelly, a maneuver that he used throughout the day. He finds Morin again. It seems that Morin always has big days against Dallas. Nelson, spectacular throughout the day. This time to Warfield at the 1. Cleveland was penalized 5 yards because of backfield in motion after this, so now they're back at the 6. They put this play in the day before the game. Nelson to his tight end Morin, 89. Cleveland got the ball in the closing seconds of the first half after Dallas had to give it up. Nelson fired strike again, this time to Warfield in the middle. Cleveland throws to a wide variety of receivers, as you'll see. Morin clears the area. Nelson throws down the middle to Bo Scott. Scott fumbles, and it's recovered by their offensive center, Fred Hoagland. They got a field goal just after that from Don Cockcroft, and at halftime it was 17-0. The Cleveland Browns over Dallas, and Dallas fans hoped that something could take place at halftime that might get their team back on the right track. Such was not to be the case. In the early moments of the third quarter, Craig Morton, who had a tough day for Dallas, back to pass. Must be excellent coverage. Fine rush by Cleveland, and Houston intercepts and rambles down the sideline some 33 yards before they can get him down. Nelson went right back to work. He lost none of his sharpness at halftime. Screen pass to Kelly. Behind excellent blocking down in front. Kelly almost got in. Now, from the end zone, the second touchdown of the day by Cleveland fullback Bo Scott. That's Bob Lilly coming across in front of him, and that should give you some indication of the strength that Scott possesses. Nelson on a draw to Leroy Kelly. A fine block in front by Gary Collins, number 86, as you can see on Cornell Green. That's just at the end of the third quarter, beginning fourth quarter. Kelly gets his touchdown. That made it Cleveland 31, Dallas 7 at that point. This is the place we told you that they like to work on Cleveland. Walt Sumner intercepts. 88 yards later, Cleveland has its 37th and 38th point, as Don Cockcroft's extra point was good. And that's the way it was at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, pretty much a one-sided affair, 38-14, the final score.